and give attention to no understanding. For I give you good doctrine. Do not forsake my law. When I was my father's son, tender and the only one in the sight of my mother, he also taught me and said to me, let your heart retain my words. Keep my commandments and live. Get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget nor turn away from the words of my mouth. Do not forsake her, and she will preserve you. Love her, and she will keep you. This is instruction. Love the instruction. Keep the instruction. Wisdom is a principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and in all you're getting, get understanding. Exalt her, and she will promote you. She will bring you honor when you embrace her. She will place on your head an ornament of grace, and a crown of glory she will deliver to you. Hear, my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of your life will be many. And these are the words of wisdom from Solomon to his children. He says, you know, I was a son too. And David, the king, taught me. And I acquired what I acquired on this knowledge. Introduction. Parent, God has entrusted you with the care of your children. God has placed in your hands your sons and your daughters. They are souls. They have been placed in your hands to form their character. We are living in critical times. How many agree with me that we are in dangerous, perilous times? The forces of darkness are in a quest to destroy your children and the home. You cannot afford to lose any more time. You cannot afford to lose any more time. Turn to someone and tell someone, come back home. Come back home. That's what he says, right? Come back home. Turn your face toward your children and dedicate quality time to them. And I'm going to dedicate this sermon to my two grandchildren here. Okay. Teach them the ways of God. You shall teach them diligently to your children, and shall talk to them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. It's important for us to learn the power of repetition. Repetition. Children learn by repetition. So you give them a teaching, and then you talk to them again, and not necessarily the same thing, because we have 66 books in the Bible. Yeah. And you can take a portion, a chapter, a teaching, something that will for your children. But it has to be repetition. Is not always saying the same thing, but it's consistency. Consistency. 7 days without food makes a week. 7 days without the word makes a weak Christian. We need to be strong in the Lord. Turn to someone and tell someone, come back home. Do it. The importance of consistency, repeating. A very famous piano player, said, when I don't practice for 2 days, I notice that I didn't practice for 2 days. When I don't practice for a week, my family notices that I'm lacking, I'm not there. And when I don't practice for a month, my audience notices it. So he says, to be there as a good piano player and concerts, I need to practice every day, hours and hours every day, to keep my fingers, my mind on what I like to do. Teach them diligently. And diligence here applies not something second class or just to do it, but really with all good intentions. And I'd like to read from the notes. Parents are instructed by God to observe diligence in teaching their children. Children learn by example. And the teacher, the disciple is not greater than the teacher. That's what the Bible says. So children learn by example. And my wife was sharing with me how this mother told her, my daughters are so good to me. They mother me. Like if I was their children, they're nice, good. I have 2 good daughters. And Lily told her, well, your daughters are the reflection of who you are. And there's things in our lives that are not perfect and we need to correct, but we correct things and then we teach good things to our children. If you get angry and you have a very strong character and you misbehave with your spouse, it will be, your children will receive that. But if you apply self-control, you swallow your words, and you're kind with your spouse, then that will be a good reflection for your children. They will grow. I remember growing up, my father was always real nice with my mom. And I always have that picture. Viejitos, and they will still kiss. And she'll talk to them. Are you following, Matthew? Good. Talk to them. The Bible teaches us in the book of Deuteronomy that the word and instruction of God should be a topic of constant conversation in the home. Children are always bombarded with all kinds of ungodly influences in the world. And the way that they're bombarded by the things of the world, and some are not necessarily evil, but some of them are. And things that our children are bombarded with cannot be overcome by secular